And this thing is live. Kyle AA0Z Zulu.
Hello.
Welcome to the Ham2K TLDR live stream, where we don't know what we're doing and we don't know what we're going to be talking about, but probably going to be talking about logging.
Yeah. Good to be here. Thanks for inviting me on the new channel. So I'm streaming this on my channel too, but what we need to do is people need to go over to Ham2K and subscribe.
I think the back
over
stream
there
is coming back into your audio.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Are you hearing double of me?
I'm hearing myself.
Oh.
Yeah. I muted.
Oh, you know what? We might have to shut down my stream and just use your stream. I don't know I don't know how that's coming back through. I don't know. You hear me double? Test 1, test 2.
I hear double.
You hear me double? Okay, well maybe this is not going to work. All right. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to shut down the audio and I'm going to put something on the screen. Go over to Ham2K and watch over there. All right.
Search for Ham2K apps on the YouTube.
Yes.
Search.
Okay. I'm gonna mute this over here. See if it goes away.
Well,
did it go away?
Apparently, people don't hear double on my stream. Maybe it's me.
Do you still hear double? People are saying there's no doubling on the YouTube end. Do you have a stream playing, Sebastian?
Hold on, let me make sure. Oh, wait, no, that was a problem. I had another tab.
Oh.
In another screen, hidden away.
Oh, okay. So are we good now?
We're good now.
Okay. Well, now doesn't matter. Here, I'm gonna put in the chat the link to Ham2K apps, and people can watch wherever.
I'm blaming it on Polar Flutter, Aurora propagation flutter,
Aurora Borealis.
Yeah, no, that's was it you I was telling this that we hams blame everything on propagation?
Oh yeah.
Anything that cannot be explained is propagation.
Yes.
Yep. and I'm gonna. This is how this works here, right? I put the comments people make.
Yes.
If I click on the button, they show up on the screen.
Right.
Yep. The professional streamers in the audience are heckling us performers.
Well, it's people. What is it? The people who can't do teach. Is that what's so? People who can't stream complain.
If people can't stream, comment. That's right.
It's funny.
So, thanks for coming by. I wanted to start this thing of doing regular streams to talk about what's new with Polo and Ham2K, but also to talk with other people about how they operate, how they log, how they do radio. I don't want to go through the whole tell me how you got into ham radio, because that's going to be too long. But how do you operate? What's your preferred type of ham operation?
I do more operating from the contest station, and that's fully remote. And I don't have a general logger. Whenever I log, it's either from a POTA site, a SOTA site with Polo, or through N1MM. I do not have just a general logger that I keep on, and I'm a DXer, and I'm not a conversational ham radio operator. So all of my contacts have a purpose.
And you have a folder somewhere on a hard drive with a bunch of ADIF files that actually one day you'll do something with them.
No, actually, they're all Cabrillo files. So
they're all Cabrillo. So it's either ADIF for POTA or Cabrillo for the contest, and that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. So what I do is my process is, if I'm logging POTA or SOTA, I come home and I upload the file to the POTA website, but then I also download it and I put it on my NAS, right? And that's ADIF, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then from a contest perspective, whenever I'm done with a contest, I export out of N1MM to Cabrillo file, which is a Cabrillo is the
Contest
standard,
stream. Yeah.
right? And I put that on the
Don't,
NAS.
please don't call Cabrillo a standard. Cabrillo is a style of files. There's no
Yes.
freaking standard there.
No. No.
It's even worse than ADIF.
Yeah.
But it's simpler. It's simpler. That I'll give them that.
Yeah, and because I don't log general contacts and I don't upload to Logbook of the World and I don't have a general logger, the Cabrillo file has suited me okay. Now,
It's enough for a submission to the contest, and that's it.
yeah, right. Now,
Yeah.
could I take all those Cabrillo files and put it in SED and, grab all the crap out of it and, put it into a logger? Sure, probably could. But, I've been like this for 20 years. I'm not going to change.
Where have I heard that before? That's like a motto for ham radio.
It's called getting old.
Yeah. One of these days I'll get you to change. And
Yes.
Start putting your Cabrillo somewhere else.
Well, and you know what's funny is whenever I go to the contest station and I look at the N1MM that's on the two general computers, there are, and I need to pull them off from, there are years and years and years. I mean, there's probably, 500,000 contacts, that are all saved in N1MM.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, I've seen that. And it's interesting. I mean, I have this take on how contest logging is the area where most of the development has been focused, of all the innovation. I think that's exaggerating. I think that a lot of the general loggers have focused on having like DXing tools and things that help you do things other than logging.
Yeah, well, there is, we're probably going to get into this, but it seems to me that we have loggers that just do too much. I need something that is simple, and even N1MM has gotten to a point where it is a big hog. There is many times where N1MM will stop working or will crash or do something in the middle of a contest, and you have to restart it. It happened to me twice this weekend during a 12-hour contest. I worked NAQP ready, and I had to restart it twice during the contest because it just wouldn't respond, and it's a mammoth.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking to the wrong guy because I want Ham2K Polo to do everything. But I do think that there are ways of doing it. I think that most people don't want to do everything at the same time. It's just
Right.
that different people want to do one or two different things, and everyone wants a whole different set of different things. Like someone wants to do POTA, someone else wants to do soda, and then someone wants to do both, and then someone in England wants to do the British grids, or someone in it wants to do also wildlife, and so on. So there's dozens and dozens of things people want to do, and what many loggers never realize is that often people want to do 2 or 3 at the same time, not 15, but like people who want to do POTA and the QSO party, for example, is one thing I'm trying to get into, or POTA and soda, or POTA and wildlife.
And I think that's totally acceptable. It's just whenever the one thing that I don't like about N1MM is it does so many things. I wish that there was like an N1MM Lite that just focused on SSB, CW, and RAID, and that was the only things that it did. And it did those cleanly with not all of these third-party apps that you have to load. And whenever you have to set up a RAID contest in N1MM, it's like you're launching a rocket to the moon.
And that's if you only have one decoder running instead of 2.
Exactly.
And I'm not talking SO2R, but like 2 decoders for the same signal, in case you want to get different interpretations. And it's really, in particular, is like the most extreme of the contest setups, because you do need a lot of screen real estate for the decoders besides the logging besides the spots, besides everything else, you need a bunch of windows to the code, and at the same time really lends itself to SO2R. So you tend to do double the screens, and it kind of gets a bit crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. So when's the last time you did a portable operation?
Man, it has been a while. I think in my logger here, I think the last one I did was November 10th, I believe. Yeah, November 10th, the Arch. Yep.
Yeah. That's sad, man. You got to go out more often.
I know. Well,
says the guy. I haven't been out in. I mean, I and on a couple of weeks ago, I was at Ham2K and I did go out. That counts.
Oh yeah, I saw some video of you out there with the guys.
This winter out here because it's been icy and cold.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go out. Usually the weather breaks in March, so I typically go out twice or 3 times a month. You know, starting in March. But I think this summer, I'm gonna be doing some traveling. You know, I got some big trips planned, and I'm gonna do quite a bit of POTA. My goal, whenever I go on some road trips this summer, is to do a POTA a day.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna show you a couple of things. I'm gonna do the business part of the meeting.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you a couple of new things on Polo. Let me share here a virtual screen of a phone. I don't think I can make it be much bigger than this, so people will have to like squint. But this, let's see if you recognize quickly the upcoming March release will have a new photo.
I think that's the photo that I saw.
That went by quickly, but yeah, you probably saw it posted somewhere.
I saw Jamie in there. That's who I recognized.
Did you get to see the new operation templates? You probably haven't.
Yes, I did. I saw the start a template based on a previous operation.
Yeah.
Yep, I saw that.
Or when you start an operation, you get this. It suggests based on the most frequent types of things you do.
Yep.
I think that's working well.
Yeah, I actually tried it and clicked on it. I saw under operational data.
You saw this one
template.
here.
Yes,
yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, that's if in case you want to find one that's not one of the most frequent ones, that might be an easy way to find the one you want to show to do. I think I showed a little bit of this in the previous. I mean, I showed the templates in the previous stream, but I didn't show much of the new support for QSO parties.
Oh, nice.
Let me show you something I'm really proud of.
Okay.
And you, as a user of N1MM, you probably will sympathize with what made me do it this way, which is I want to start a QSO party, right?
Yep.
Do you know how it is in N1MM?
Yeah, you have to go to first you have to
create
a new database.
You have to scroll.
You have to create a new database, and you have to create a new entry in the database, and then you got to select the contest, and then you got to select all of your parameters.
Yeah.
And then
but to select the contest, say I know that next weekend is Idaho QSO party.
Right.
Perfect.
Perfect. Yes.
Right here.
Another reason why N1MM is a hog is it shows you 400 contests that you have to pick from. And also, those contests have a short name. So therefore, if you don't know what the short name is, you're going to miss the contest. Or you're not going to miss it, but you're going to search for it for 10 minutes on what actually it's called in N1MM due to the short name.
Yeah, here they will show based on the dates which one is closest.
Perfect.
It'll let you pick another one because you might want to prepare for New York QSO party or something like that. In fact, I'm going to pick New York QSO party because it's the one I'm most familiar with.
Yep.
And I'm going to set myself in Sullivan State.
Yep.
It shows you here some information. When are the dates this year, the official site, and notes in case we have some, like we haven't tested this setup officially.
Yeah.
For North Carolina, I did a test. I submitted a Cabrillo file before the contest and got it confirmed by the organizers that it was correct and all that. I want to try to do that with all the other QSO parties.
Okay.
But the other thing I really I'm really happy about how it came out. I did it first for Winter Field Day, but it's this idea that when you're at a QSO party, you tend to have this random, even like a field day, these random exchanges. And normally I would say, I mean, Kilo India to Delta, whatever, 59 SUL. So that's Sullivan County.
Right.
And you come back to me and you say, no, I'm in I don't know, in Broome County.
Okay.
I don't know what the official abbreviation for Broome County is.
Right.
So I type the first
Yes.
few letters, and I
Yep.
get here, as you can see, the most likely
Yes.
abbreviation.
That is
So if I
that
type-
is right. You've nailed the head nail on the head again, because whenever you are especially on single sideband and you're asking again and again and again what the county is, and they're saying, you know, you can get the full pronunciation, but you cannot hear the phonetics.
Yeah.
It would be nice to type in what you think
Just
you
type
hear.
in.
Right.
I mean, one of my pet peeves has always been, I think I had a Winter Field Day here, has always been, what's the location for Santa Barbara or Santa Clara, all the California counties that are like San Diego, SDG.
Yes. Yeah.
I always hated that. And I made this be based on your call sign. So if you call AA0Z and you tell me something new, I get New York, New Hampshire, New Mexico. But if you had told me that you're in VE, then new will give me New Brunswick, Newfoundland.
Oh yeah. Okay, good. Yeah.
Polo has a little bit of extra information to narrow down the choices.
Yep.
So it can do it that way.
Okay.
And I'm really happy with that, how that came out.
All right. I've got some questions for you whenever you get a minute.
Go for it.
Okay. So the first week in May, there is like 4 QSO parties going on at one time, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming you have coded for that cluster that happens the first weekend in May.
Right now, I've only added the QSO parties for April.
Okay.
I need to add the data for the rest.
Okay.
So there's two answers to that. The current version of the QSO party extension will let you pick which one you want to participate in.
Yeah. Okay.
One of my benchmarks, my goals with Polo is I want to be able to log that weekend. I want to be able to say I'm in state in I forget which states it is, but I'm in state in Ohio.
Yep.
But there's also 3 other parties for which I will be out of state.
Correct.
And I want to be able to say I want all of them. When I enter the exchange, if I enter an exchange that is ambiguous, that's a county that's valid in more than one, it'll ask me which one.
Right.
Which of the states it is.
Well, all of the QSO party organizers got together, and all of the counties are unique.
There's some. Yeah, I think that the QSOs that are on the same weekend, they are unique.
Correct.
That's correct. There's a bunch of QSO parties that are not at the same time they all have like a Sullivan County or Washington County, and
right.
Some of the abbreviations are crazy. Some are 4 letters, some are 3.
Right.
But the idea is that you will put the county here in location, and it'll pick from all of them.
Yep.
And kind of like the same way we do Poda and Soda, at the end, you will go here in your logs, and it'll give you a Cabrillo for each one of them.
Right. Yeah. Because you have to. Well, actually, the organizers, they accept all 5 Cabrillo logs on their site
on one.
and one.
That's
and
even better.
Yeah. And then they sort through it.
Too easy. And one thing I can do too is give you scoring for each one of them separately.
Yes. Yep.
Including the checklist for which counties you've worked, which bonus stations you've worked.
Yep.
And so on.
Very cool.
No, I want to be able to do that crazy weekend while you're also doing POTA.
Well, okay. So this is what I wrote down here as my question. So how can because in N1MM, you can't do this. So if you work somebody that's in a county, or I'm in a county and I work you,
Yeah.
and you're in a POTA, I literally have to make a note.
No, because the POTA here is still here.
But where do I enter that in? So where do I?
So
I click the POTA. Oh,
you
I
click the
see.
POTA. This, depending on how you've set it up, you might have to click on this to enable. See, I have POTA, but I don't have the WWF. I can add it so that it's available here.
Yes.
I have an idea I'm working on, which is I want to make this field, instead of just location or state or whatever, I'm going to call it exchange.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make it take half the screen. And the idea is that you can type there whatever you want.
Okay.
So in the middle of a contest, if you type 4 numbers and you're not in a contest that has numbers,
yes,
then we'll say, oh, that's a POTA reference. And we'll capture it as a POTA reference.
Yep.
If you type SUL and then NY, well, it will take both the county and the state. Or if you type SUL and then you type 2 letters and 2 numbers, it'll capture your grid in case you want to get grids for some reason.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
for 99% of the things we exchange, it's clear what the intent is.
Right.
And if it's, for example, if 4 digits is not clear enough for POTA because you're also in a contest that exchange numbers, then you type 2 letters and the digits.
Yeah, I don't know. There is, I believe that there is a QSO party that exchanges serial number.
Yes. No, there's I have it. One of the ones I did recently.
I can't remember which one.
it is. There's at least one that exchanged names. There's one that exchanged numbers. The Nova Scotia QSO party, which actually doesn't, it's not called QSO party, but something else. They give away counties, and people from outside of Nova Scotia give you numbers.
Okay, gotcha.
That's another one.
But
yeah, I'm making it so that you can define all those variations for QSO parties.
Yeah. Are you going to create like a framework that so people who have contests, they can create rules and create their own contests?
Yes, I'm not quite there yet. I'm going in that direction. Let me share some of the source code here.
Also, I thought a couple of other things too.
So this is part of a source code for Polar. Let me make it a bit smaller so that it zooms in better. The QSO parties, each party is defined by like a JSON. So where's New York? Here. It basically gives the name of the party, the URL, all the data you saw.
Yeah.
Is this a party in which DC counts as Maryland or not? Can you do county line operation?
Right. Yeah.
Self-spot.
Yep.
Is DX a multiplier? And does your own state contacts count as a multiplier? And then the points and the list of counties.
Yep. There's some also contests that if you activate a county for like more than 10 QSOs, you get credit for that county.
There's a few bonuses.
Right.
I'm not covering all of them just yet.
Okay.
I've added the support for bonus stations, and you get points for those. I think North Carolina was one that had a bunch of bonus stations, and they can have different scores. There's one contest in which if you work all the bonus stations, you get an extra 100 points.
Yep.
Et cetera, et cetera. This one has like state counts. Your own operation counts for your county. Which in some states, in some cases, you need to do 10 contacts for it to count for your county.
Yeah, I think
roaming.
Yeah, and that's mostly for rovers and for portables. Yeah. Yep.
But the idea is that basically this definition of the rules is easy to modify and expand. If I mistype one of the counties, it's easy to change.
Okay.
And as usual, this can go out as an update. In fact, it did for North Carolina last weekend. Can go out as an update quickly when needed.
Good. So I had a couple of notes here. so we solved the county and the POTA because you'll just hit the POTA button and then enter the POTA number, which is great. That's awesome. Also, a lot of QSO parties allow county lines, and in N1MM it's a slash, right?
You can
first
do
county
slash in the, and in this case you can do slash in the location field. Let's see if it works for New York. That's a good question because I haven't actually tested this. Sullivan and Delaware, which is the county line I did. The search for the county name is broken, but if you work me, it saves like this, but it exports as 2 QSOs in the Cabrilla file.
Okay. Yep.
And it should. Oh, it's not. Looks like I'm gonna have to fix this. It should have. Oh no, because no, it should have counted for Delaware.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to see what's broken. But yes, it should allow for county line operations.
Okay.
That lets you enter more than one.
On your screen there that has the summary, it's got a point total.
Yep.
Operation 14 QSOs. Oh, 14. Okay, gotcha. Yep.
14 points. Okay, yep. I have like 14 QSOs.
Yep.
The multipliers based on states and counties and DX if that county or whatever, and it gives you the score. I'm not confident that I'm gonna that right now I have the scoring just perfectly right for all the QSOs we support.
It doesn't matter.
They'll
do it on the back end.
Yeah.
I mean,
fun thing, I've heard that a couple of QSO parties, they actually don't have any infrastructure to do scoring, and they basically accept whatever you report.
Oh my God.
That's yeah.
Oh, but geez.
I'm not gonna tell you which ones.
Okay. Hey, I've got in my chat, I've got quite a few questions. You ready?
Let me take one here.
Okay, go.
Drayman asks if you get additional information if the device is offline. If you're talking about the QSO parties, yeah, all that data is offline, just like your POTA parks and all of that. The only thing you will not get is the names of the people from QRZ if you haven't worked them before. But Polo tries to get as much data offline as possible, and it will use all of it. So you have questions.
Yeah. Eric, N1JUR says, Polo going to move forward, all platforms being, hang on, I got to scroll up. Hang on. Polo going to be on all platforms being on a smartphone. Smartphone can be challenging with those with big thumbs.
People want to use Polo on Windows laptops or computers. They want to use Polo on Linux. You can use it on Macs right now, but not on any other laptops. The quick answer is yes. The long answer is I really want to do it. I need to find a time. I hope in the next couple of months I will have the first betas of Polo desktop.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yep.
I'm ready for a refresh of a modern UI.
Yep. And I mean, I want. So for the desktop, at first I was thinking of having Polo be portable logger and come up with a new like desktop logger or general logger. General logger will be JLo, or something like that. But I think that in the end, it's probably going to be Polo for both. It'll be Polo mobile and Polo desktop, something like that.
Yeah. And
Polo, instead of portable, will become power logger. I do want Polo to work all types of logging needs. I want Polo to replace N1MM. I want Polo to replace DX Logger for your general logging. I want Polo to take, maybe not Polo, but a set of tools around it. I think that I do think that a logger should be separate from a log management platform. You don't need to see your 300,000 QSOs when you're logging a contest or a park.
Right.
But you want to connect that quickly to whatever log management you're using.
Yeah. If there was a lightweight logger that I could log all of my contacts in, and it was a modern UI and it did everything that I wanted it to do, I would probably end up using it to do stuff. right? But I just don't like. It's like all the other loggers out there; they're just so bloated, and they just do everything. They do everything. One logger N1M does contesting great. N3FJP is a great general logger. DX log is great for awards. We've got all of these other loggers that do great things, but none of them do great things altogether.
And I don't want Polo to be DX logger.
Well, I hope not.
But I want to have a tool that helps you track awards. And I want Polo to connect to that tool. I want Polo to tell me if in the middle of a contest, if there's a new entity I haven't worked for DXCC.
Yeah. Okay. As long as it's like in a modern UI and it's lightweight, it just seems like all of these other all of these other loggers are just behemoths with all of these modules and all of these things that I feel like, especially DX log, like, you got to log the install the main module, and then you got all these add-in modules, and then
DX log or DX keeper. DX log is a contesting.
Sorry, DX keeper. Yeah,
DX keeper,
I keep calling DX log. DX keeper. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I use DX log for contesting. So
right.
The last, I don't think I'll get to what you were doing last weekend, which was North America QSO Party Reedy.
Yeah.
I mean, Reedy on SO2R is kind of like the most complex contest you can try to log and
you should
manage.
You should try SO3R. It's even more complicated.
For Reedy, you can try, yeah.
You can, yeah, you can totally do it.
But I mean, my New York QSO Party last year was an SO2R operation. I did not log it with Polo because I need full cat control, which is coming for Polo, but I need full cat control and SO2R in order to do what I do for NYQP. But I want to take Polo there.
Right?
Yeah, it's gonna be, but at the same time, I love the idea of building it for a phone because it forces me to keep it simple. I have to really think about where to put things. I cannot just throw another window in your monitor when someone says, I want multipliers. Oh, well, I'll put another window for multipliers.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yep.
I have to think.
There's also a ton of people that do QSO parties that are QRP. And they're outportable,
and there's lots of people who do QSO parties portable. Oh, another logging challenge that I want to tackle is not just that the weekend with 4 QSO parties logging on a single log, which will be great, is the rover, where you have one log in which you switch counties, and it's a rover. Think of this. I need to solve it for the QSO party rover that's also visiting parks. So some of their stops might be POTA.
Yeah,
they're doing QSO party roving,
right?
So that's something that will come eventually.
Is that a separate log? Because you have one log for the QSO party, but then you got separate logs for Polo.
It will have to be one single operation.
Okay.
That somehow think of it like if you're in a Word document and you insert a page break.
Okay.
So I'm inserting a break, and from this on, I'm at a different park and at a different county for the QSO party.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like that. And then at the end, it will produce the correct logs for whatever combinations of things you had. And you could stop at one county in which there is no park, or you could be logging your mobile QSOs while you're driving around, and then when you stop at the park, you add the park to your operation for the next 20 QSOs.
Right.
And then you leave the park, but you keep the rest of a QSO party log. I want to be able to do that in a way that is manageable.
Yep.
And definitely in a way that doesn't make the app any more complicated for people who are not doing this crazy shit we're talking about.
Yeah.
That is key.
Yep.
I have a couple of questions here. Mo asks if there will be a way to connect multiple stations together like N3FJP for field day. Yes, I'm gonna no promises. I'm gonna try to have at least some like experimental support for this for field day this year. Field day will be fully loggable. I mean, I built it for winter field day, and the logic is basically the same between the two. There's not much difference.
Yeah.
But the ability to do it with multiple phones or tablets or computers, I hope I might have it ready for this field day. I'm not sure it'll be good enough for you to try to convince your entire club to trust you on this and go on a limb and do it. But I want to have people trying it in like the real world during field day. 2-3 stations logging on tablets and phones.
Yep. Are you gonna have a template for 13 colonies?
So the question is, what should it be other than tracking which colonies you've worked?
Well, that's all you need.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because 13 colonies is kind of like a general operation thing.
Yep.
with just a very quick checklist.
Yeah, that's all I need. I mean, I built a Node-RED logger that's how I can. Yeah, that tracks it. But I would love to have it just like here on my phone, right? And I'm sitting down here in the shack, and I just got New Hampshire on CW. I got it. Log it.
Yeah, I would love to do it in a way that kind of like how we were talking about having a separate app that's an award tracker, because you might do a few pod activations during that week, and you want your 13 colonies tracking to look at which ones you've worked in the separate PODA parks. So you'll have to look at all your other logs for that week to see if you've worked them or not.
Right.
But yeah, that's
well, and it's always the same 1x2s or 1x1s.
No, that's an issue. I mean, I did operate the New York call last year, and I did it using Polo, and I had a couple of runs of 300 QSO per hour logging on my phone with my thumbs. So that's proof that Polo can log quickly.
Yeah.
It's
Eric's got a really good question here that I totally forgot about that he reminded me. Is there a plan to feed for getting towards online scoreboards in real time? So I guess there's two questions there. One, are you going to push to the ingest server for the main contest scoreboards?
Yeah.
Yep.
The quick answer is yes, because that'll take very little time to do. It's not much effort. Once it means figuring out the exact protocol and just pushing it out.
Right.
It's not going to be any part. I haven't done it because I haven't done much contest support until I added the QSO parties.
Yep.
I do want to prioritize getting the QSO party rules for all 40 plus QSO parties and getting the scoring a little bit better and fixing a couple of bugs before I get into other features like that.
Yeah.
But I do want to add support for it. Yes.
Yeah. And Craig K9CT is working on real-time scoring. They're doing it with the CWTs on Wednesday, and there's a whole back end. If you go on the groups.io, I think that there's a public group called Real-Time Scoring or Real-Time Contesting that you can join.
No, I've seen some emails and the Discord too.
Yep.
I have a question here. Grayman Poda suggests that we add a please copy counter. I mean, the app is open source. If someone wants to contribute this feature, we can make it be like a little button here along the Poda.
Yeah,
it'll be the please copy, and you tap on it and it counts how many please copies you've gotten.
It's a new module.
That's easy to add.
That's in Ham2K.
Yeah. So one thing I saw earlier that Dan WD4DAN Poda royalty was around. Yes. I don't know if he left or he's still in the comments, but one new feature that's coming in March came out of watching some crazy people operate if you know what I mean,
in Florida.
in Florida.
Yep.
And the funny thing is that, I mean, let me see, where's the, hold on.
I know exactly what group you're talking about, and I have operated a couple of times with that group, and it's it's a crazy operation going on. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, this crazy guys.
Yeah,
they're fine people. They're special people.
I mean,
no, I love them dearly. I had a blast. But so what I did it after watching James operate and deal with partial calls.
Yep.
Which is something that not everybody does, but it's part of the operating style of a lot of people.
Tell me you're doing call stacking.
Call stacking. That's
Yep.
right. So we're adding support for call stacking in Polo. And it actually was like sitting there in the middle of the operation. I kind of like figured out how to do it in the simplest possible way, which is basically you hear a KO.
Yeah.
But then you hear a 4F, and then you actually get a full call. So all you need to do is put 2 slashes to separate whatever fragments.
Okay.
And it will log the last one.
Okay.
And it will keep the rest. So now you get, it was 4FL.
Okay. So, all right. This is great. This is awesome. But, okay. So how do I get over to that first call? If that call, so put another 3 calls in. Yeah, just do the same thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're gonna put an Alaska call in there. Okay, so I want to get
the way you get to that call is you type it again.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
It's easier to just type it again than trying to figure out where to tap to select the previous things.
So then you'll just call the FE guy back, and then you'll just clear. Yep.
It was N4FE, and then you delete this guy.
Yeah. Okay. So there is some backspacing that needs to go, or you need to get back into your cursor selection to get back into the place.
One thing I might add is if you have a full call here, it will detect that this call is complete enough, and it will pick that one instead of the last one.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's not there yet. That's kind of like the cherry on top. And in that case, it's easier to go back and complete whatever.
Right.
Normally, if you get a fragment, it's rare that you get a 4-letter fragment.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, that could be a valid call right there.
Yeah.
Right.
But because the hard thing is that there will be 3-letter calls that are valid, but I'm going to ignore for the purpose of call stacking. If you get a special call, you're not going to stack it. You're going to log it as your that's the one you're logging.
Right.
And if you get a 4, if you get 4 out of the whatever, you're probably going to call that one first.
Yeah. Say that again.
If you get 4 letters of one call,
if
that's the fragment you got.
Yeah,
but it was not a 4-letter call.
Right.
It was not a 2x1.
Right.
It would perhaps confuse it, but worst case, you can always click here and edit and get it right.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess the key, can you make it that the last call? So you're always the first, even if you put 3 or 4 calls in that entry window, the first, well, I was going to say the first 3 that you're going to get, let's say you get 4 calls, the first 3 are going to get fragments, but that's not always the case.
Fragments. No.
Right. But that's not always the case.
I'm going to look backwards from the end for the most complete call.
Yeah. Well, can you look up the call history too to see if it has been if that
Seen
call
in
has
the
been in your
past.
log? Yeah.
That could be. I think that I'm gonna try keeping it simple for now to see how people use it,
Okay.
and if people run into, because again, I think that the ability to just backspace and correct whatever is missing might be enough to solve those problems the few times when they happen.
Yeah. I'm just thinking
If
whenever I'm going in, I'm probably getting my fat fingers out and clicking inside the entry window
uh-huh.
versus backspacing,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And what I need to do is highlight the call that I'm gonna recognize. So if you get KJ
Yes. Yeah, that would be a
4R
good idea. Yeah.
AA0Z and then some KJ, if I can make this bold,
Yes.
then it's
Then
obvious which call is going to get accepted,
correct.
and you
Yeah,
can deal with it.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah,
That's the way to do it is
yeah,
whenever it's highlighted, you know that whenever you hit the enter key, that's the one that's going to be entered.
yeah. And there's
Yeah.
another feature that I also did for the special people of the
Of the community.
community. The guys out at the Ham Radio Adventures Discord. You can now add on your personal notes file.
Yeah.
You know how you have the notes file, which
Yep.
is how if I type this, it shows Kyle. You can
Yep.
have your own version of this file.
Yes.
And now on that, if I type this and I press enter, it'll expand to the contents of that file. Which for what
Okay.
I'm showing here is ridiculous. There's no
Right.
point in doing this. But if you work, some people work other groups of operators often, and they recognize one of their calls.
Yeah.
So you can add that list to your notes file, and it will show up. It will put all 10 call lists with commas in here.
Oh, okay.
Or if you have like a
Yeah, I
friend
have
you always recognize.
right. Yeah, I have a list that has all my SMC members, my Society of Midwest Contesters, and whenever I work one of them and I put their call in the entry field in
It'll show.
N1MM, in the bottom it says SMC member, and then
Yep.
I say go SMC. You know
that this feature is exactly the same.
right.
Except that especially for POTA, where you can get multiple operators, often you know the rest of the call signs. You know that if that Dan and Jamie always operate together.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you put // DJ, and it will put both call signs.
Oh, yeah. Go.
So
Oh, that's
create
that's a
shortcuts
good.
like
Yep.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I did this because these crazy people, they have some groups of like 8 call signs, entire families hunting them.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so this feature was for Dan in particular,
Yeah.
and the roses.
There was I'll get to Jonathan's comment here, but
Yeah,
we were
it's for the roses.
right. We were
That
down in
was
We were down in Huntsville, and, and we were activating POTA on the back of one of the cabins, and there was 15 of us.
Yeah.
And so James would send out his call sign and say, "Hey, I got some other 15 members," and then he just held up the mic, and it was a pileup into the mic and to that other operator.
Yeah. Now, if you've operated, the crazy thing is if you've seen James, the
Ham Radio Adventure guy.
Ham Radio Adventure guy
Yeah.
himself operate.
Yeah.
He have memorized all 8
yeah.
calls.
Yeah, I've operated with him
Like,
many times.
So
Yeah.
this feature is not for James. This feature is for Dan. James
Yes.
doesn't need this. James doesn't need call stacking.
You know what's crazy about James too is like literally I will hunt him on like a Tuesday or let's say a Monday, and then he'll get on my stream on Wednesday. He'll stream on Wednesday and he'll hit like a 10 park rove, and I'll only hunt him once, and he'll tell me which park I hunted him in. Like the guy's got a memory like an elephant.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
No, that's crazy.
and he knows, and he's talked about this on his stream many times. And obviously, I have like I get like this whenever I contest a lot, and especially whenever I'm doing a lot of POTA. And Dan's like this, and all those guys that do a lot of POTA it's like CW. It's like your fist, right? You hear partial calls, and you hear somebody's tone in their voice, and you know exactly who it is.
No, sometimes they recognize somebody without having to say a single letter of the call sign.
Right. Well, some
They
of
say,
them have
"Hey,"
little
and they
codes.
know. Yep.
Yeah.
I want to show you one last thing that's coming up in March. Quick preview. I'll do another stream to better show these features. This I'm probably gonna move it into some kind of like advanced features. I don't want regular users coming in here because they don't need to change this. But I've got so many people asking, they want their log files to be named in a very specific way.
Oh, okay.
Or they want to include certain information in the comments. So I built the whole templating engine into Polo that lets you, like, say, if you want your call sign to be lowercase in your file names.
Oh, gotcha.
You can do that here. If you don't want to have the part name with just a number, you can do that here. And it's a full template. It lets you particularly lets you do ADIF comments and notes and QSL message.
Wow.
By default, the QSL message will have the list of all the things you're working on this operation.
Yeah, so it gives you an example of what it's going to be.
This is what it will look like for whatever I typed here. If you want to separate not with dashes but with periods, it'll do that.
Right.
So the templating language is very powerful, and I wanted to do it just because I don't want to put it this way, but to get the people who want to customize these things off my back. Now they can customize them all, and they can do it differently for the general case than for your soda hunting.
Yep.
And one of the reasons is that soda, for example, people want to have signal reports in the comments of their soda logs because of how the soda site processes logs. They wanted to. So this allows you to have these comments on soda without having to put them in all the other modes.
Yeah.
There's some information here. I'll probably do more better documentation on the website. It lets you do all kinds of file names for Cabrillos, for every single thing you have enabled in your phone, you'll be able to customize.
Yeah. I just thought of another question about QSO parties and logging POTA. Is there, in a contest, everyone's 599. So, sometimes that's part of the exchange. Doesn't matter, in N1MM, you don't have to log it because it's automatic, right? It just automatically puts it in there. But for a POTA, you might get a 5.7 or a 5.5. Can you enter in a 5.5 for that POTA?
Yep.
Okay.
You can if I'm logging here at QSO party, I can have the sent and receive fields enabled.
Okay.
Or I can hide them.
Gotcha.
If you don't want to see them.
Okay.
That's your preference. And you can do this for a regular POTA too. It's like if
oh, that's right. Yeah, you can.
See,
okay.
I only have call and state, and I can even get rid of state and
I
just
forgot
have
that.
Call if that's what you want.
Yep, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I'm sure that you're working on, but you can give me we're going to talk about that later, is syncing logs between devices.
That's, I mean, if you enable developer mode, you will see this menu here. It kind of like talks about what we're working about, the Ham2K log filer or lo-fi.
Okay.
That lets you, it's going to be the sync service.
Yeah. You should make it a paid service. Yeah.
I say it here. It'll probably be paid. I don't have a price yet, but not more than $30 per year.
Okay.
It's probably going to be less than that.
Yeah.
It's still not complete. So even if you enable it here, it won't do much. One thing is that it will send your QSOs to the log server right now.
Okay.
So if by any chance you lose your operation or you lose your phone, get in touch with me because I can recover it from the sync server.
Oh, good.
But it will not sync back just yet. I'm testing the performance of the server, fixing some bugs. So it will not sync back.
Yeah.
But yes, this is in the works. this same mechanism is what will allow you to do field day with more than one phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not that you will have them in the same account. The idea is that you can share a single operation between multiple people. You can invite people to an operation you start, and that way it will use so I'm building the sync service with that in mind too.
Yeah. Okay. Good deal. Yeah. That's going to be awesome.
That's going to be, yep. No, that's the thing I'm focusing on right now before moving on to the Windows version. That's a big challenge right now.
Yep. Live Free and Ham, I don't know which one of the guys this is. I just remember Eric's name. I can't remember the other two, but they said it would be cool to be able to have a floating map you could bring up on a sheet while you're logging versus having to tap the map tab.
For that, I will say that you will have to learn to get up sideways, and you can get it here.
Get a bigger screen.
You need a tablet with an external keyboard, or your phone with an external keyboard.
Yeah.
One thing that I love tossing ideas out, and people will hold me to them, and I'll say I never said that. But one thing I was considering for things like map or showing basically what I show here on the right side is Android Auto or CarPlay.
What?
Android Auto or CarPlay. If a lot of people operate from their cars.
Oh, I see. I gotcha.
And there's the possibility of putting information on that screen.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah.
That'll be a cool side feature. If I'll take a look to see if it's not too complicated to add.
All you Tesla owners need to write an app that displays. Has anybody that is in the chats? Does anybody own a Tesla and has put Polo on the screen on a Tesla?
Can you run iPhone apps on the screen or share the screen? Or
I think I saw somebody down at Hamcation last year was doing crazy stuff with his screen.
Batteries on the.
All right. Yeah, he was doing some crazy stuff with his tablet in the screen in the Tesla.
Hold on, I missed the last.
Did your Alexa go off?
All my devices went crazy. My headphones ran out of battery. My phone thought I was asking things of it. Sorry, you were saying about this.
Yeah, Loyal from HRCC. He's one of the admins. He's a smart kid. He was doing some crazy stuff on his Tesla screen last Hamcation. I was down at Florida last year, and I was just like, "You got way too much time on your hands." Let's see. Back to, it'd be cool to pull in the icon of the contacts you have tagged with your YouTube channels instead of the TV.
I mean, that starts getting harder. It's easy for me to display emojis.
Yeah,
getting the icon of the channel, especially while you're operating and you might have a low speed connection. If you want a different emoji, as I told to anybody who's asked, if you ask nicely, I might consider it. So that's a thing, but it's easier for me to manage just an emoji, than having to download the entire thing.
Scout 75. Hey Scout, haven't seen you in a while. I know you've been in the chat here, but I haven't seen you on YouTube. But he says, is Sebastian still planning on auto uploads to Soda, POTA, QRZ?
Yeah,
cool if POTA log automatically.
I want to do that. I've been waiting for POTA to get their act together and add an API to upload, and I know they're working on it, but it's not going to happen fast enough. So I'm going to try to see if there's workarounds around it.
Gotcha.
But yes, I definitely want to be able to finish an operation and tap a single button and get a spinner that says, yep, don't send all 5 parks to POTA.
Yeah.
Send the park to Soda, send it to QRZ. Thank you, done. That's the dream, and I'm not going to stop until we get there.
Yeah, that would be cool because just like uploading contest logs, the rule is that you should upload your contest log the minute after the contest is over. Like, there's no log scrubbing.
Yeah.
It's 6:01 on a 48-hour contest. You're at Central Daylight Time or Central Standard Time. You upload your log, at 6:01. It would be nice if I had internet access that I wouldn't come home and lay on the couch and be like, I'll submit it later. And then 3 months later, I look down at the log and I'm like, I still haven't submitted. It'd be nice to just submit it right there on site.
I did a really, really competitive entry for last year's and North America QSO Party really.
Mm-hmm.
That would have gotten me at least number one in W2 land.
And
I did not submit. I forgot to submit.
Yep.
Got 124,000 points, 588 QSOs.
Yeah.
Low power.
Oh, on QRP power?
No, 100 watts.
Oh, 100 watts. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was competitive for the East Coast.
Yeah.
And I did not submit.
Wow.
Forgot to hit the submit button in one of the steps and never got back to it. And when the claim scores came out, I wasn't there, and I went, "Oh, what the fuck happened here?"
Yeah. You would have won it because the record for NAQP RIDI for November or for February is 99,000, and for July it's only 112. Yeah, you would have shattered it
for low power.
For single operator low power. Well, yes, correct. Right, 100 watts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it would have been. It was a great score.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that is a great score. That's an awesome score.
But yeah, that's what happens sometimes.
Yeah. Well, you live and you learn.
Yeah, or you live at least.
Yeah. Right.
Can't ask for more than that.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. Anyone who has any more questions? Otherwise, I think we're gonna call it an episode.
Hey, you want to show off your new purchase?
Oh yeah. Let me see if I can get this other camera here. I don't know how to do. Oh yeah, here.
Look at that thing.
The nameless
modern Morse.
Nameless modern Morse. One thing I did is I put gaffer's tape underneath and on the magnet.
Oh yeah,
it gives you a lot more friction. It works much better that way than without. Let's put it here.
You might want to, I've from being a musician for years and years, I know exactly what gaffer's tape is. You might want to make sure that it doesn't leave any residue on that key.
Yeah. No, it should be okay.
Yeah. I have not operated one. I've seen one in the flesh many times, but I hear that they're very, very smooth, and a lot of people love them.
Yeah, no, I really like it. Very happy. Took a while to come to fulfill the order, but that's what it's handmade. Well, not handmade. It's machine made by a guy operating the machine, but it's not a mass market production out of China.
Right. Yeah, Aaron, who makes those, lives about 30 minutes away from me.
Oh, cool. Go help him.
I don't think he wants me anywhere near his shop. That would be a bull in a china shop.
Yeah. Well, Kyle, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to put, again, the Ham2K apps. I just put it in the chat there. Guys, go out and support Ham2K. If you like Ham2K Polo, you might want to consider throwing the boys some dough. It is an amazing logger.
It couldn't be easier than hitting this button here on the app. You're able to donate directly through an in-app purchase. Couldn't be easier than that. You can also go on the Polo side and on the homepage, you'll find a link to buy me a coffee.
Yeah.
That's another very easy way to donate. Um, the app is free. It's open source. It will always be free. But we welcome those contributions to help us get this going and
Yep.
maintain the regular hardware and software costs and all of that. It's really, really appreciated.
Well, and your time too. I mean, you put hours and hours and hours into this, and people reap the benefits of being able to log on something that works and is clean and is modern, and that's worth something. It's worth its weight in gold.
I mean, I built it for myself. I wanted this app to exist in the world.
Yep.
But I'm really happy to see more people enjoying it and appreciating it. So I really welcome those comments, and I welcome those donations too.
Yeah. Well, and you're building a community too.
Yeah. Join. I mean, there's a very active Discord. There's the forums. There's the YouTube channel, as they say, like, subscribe, hit the bell. If you go to polo.ham2k.com, you'll find links to all of those, and you can, from the app too, you'll find links to all the social medias and all the places.
So I just put the Discord link in my chat, and I also put the link to the YouTube channel that you are streaming over on yours.
Yeah.
So hopefully, get the word out, spread the word, talk about Polo. If you activate with a friend, go and show them the app and have them download it, have them try it.
Show it off. We've convinced more than a few people to move from paper logging into logging on their phones, and I think that that's one of the biggest achievements. When you convince someone to change their ways to something better, it takes a lot to get over that inertia,
right?
And we've done it a few times.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Anything else, Sebastian?
No, I think that's about it. We'll be seeing each other on the internets, on the YouTubes, on the Discords, and all the media, and hopefully on the air too.
Yeah. Are you going to Ham Venture? Oh, no. Oh, no.
I'm not going to Dayton this year
because right, yeah.
My daughter decided to graduate that weekend. I tried to sabotage that, but didn't go well. So no Hamvention for me this year.
Okay.
I might be going to Huntsville.
Oh, that'd be cool.
We'll see. It's likely.
Okay.
But still too far away to be sure.
Right. Well, Huntsville is always a great time. We hang out on the mountain up there in Montesano, and it is such a laid back ham fest. It's funny. We get to Saturday afternoon about 2:00 in the afternoon, and everyone kind of like congregates beside the seating area, and all the YouTubers and all the people that are kind of our posse. We all congregate, and then we all kind of look at each other and go, "It's time to go to the bar." And we go over to the brewery, and we spend the whole night over at the brewery from 2:00 on. It's like, we've seen everything at the Ham Fest. Now it's time to go drink.
That's the hallway track, as they call it.
Yeah. Yes. So, all right, very good.
Excellent.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming and sharing this time with us. And everybody else will be repeating this hopefully every week. I'm gonna try to do it every Monday. Not with Kyle. That'll get boring.
Yeah.
But with different guests.
Yeah.
Or just me sometimes, depending on what we have to show. But thank you, and see you all around.
All right. 73.